Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And yes, I had to get some rest. I'm still recuperating from New Year's. But let's go through the top 5 hip hop albums of the year. A lot of people like Chance the Rapper's The Coloring Book. I did not, but other people like it. So, I mean, to me, it had maybe 4 songs on there, and I guess that's enough for people nowadays. But for me, it will not make this list. And for the shock of the general public, Views is not in the top 5, but it's an honorable mention. And when the midst of mixtapes to albums to mixtapes to albums, it's been a hectic year. Honorable mentions to Kendrick Lamar, Untitled, and all of that, but let's go through it. Number 5, I got, it's kind of a tough selection, but I went with Dave East, the guy from Harlem. Now, he's not outstanding, but he had a lot of good hits, like the It Was Written song, and that Can't song. I love Keisha. That's a great song, too. So, I mean, he's rough around the edges. You know, it sounds like he got a little too much of that new style in him, a little bit. But other than that, he's all right, man. And I'm like, okay, well, he's better than a lot of people, you know, would give him credit for. So I said, well, he definitely deserved it after this year. This wasn't a great year for albums. This was more of a song year than it was for albums. So, you know, what can you say, right? But overall, there's still Brazzy is at number 4. YG, still Brazzy. Period. That's West Coast rap at its finest. So, when you got songs like the Blame It on the Streets and, my goodness, you got every song on here basically is just, that's West Coast at its finest. And I'm not talking about Blame It on the Street. I'm talking about the Still Brazzy. So, that's my selection at number 4. And I think it's well deserved. And he's not an outstanding rapper, but he definitely had a great album and had great compilation. To me, that's what I'm saying. It sounded more like a compilation album than anything. So, you know, to hear them go to that extreme, you know, with the beats and everything, it felt like Dr. Dre album. Like, he's like, I'm the first West Coast dude to make it without Dre. And I was like, wow, that's saying something. That's really saying something. Because, like, everybody normally use Dre. But Don't Come to L.A. is one of my favorite songs on the album. You know, people blood in the videos, but not blood on the streets. That was pretty dope. But we move on to number 3. And the number 3 album of the year is Common. Black America again. Now, this album is so lyrically cold, it is beyond comprehension. Songs like Home and Pyramid, I mean, right off the bat, just blow you out of the water. Just blow you right away. Common's lyrical content is unmatched by anything. The only thing that really held the album back was that he got really too political and too, you know, I don't know, just too much into politics. But other than that, the album is outstanding, and you can listen to it almost all the way through. I think it's probably one song I don't deal with. But once again, he shows his lyrical prowess over all these other MCs that was on the list so far. You know, so Common definitely earns that respect, and it's not because I'm from Chicago and he's from Chicago. It's actually the music. So I think Chance the Rapper's from here, and I don't want him nowhere near my list. But hey, it is what it is. Number 2, Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q delivered a multifaceted album that's full of creativity and different sounds, different styles, but his lyrical assault, woo! That boy got it. That boy got it, man. And I was surprised. I thought he was going to come out with a dud and thought he was just a, here for the moment type rapper. No. When you could put together an effort like this took work. This means he was in the lab. Now, number 1, I want to give an honorable mention to De La Soul and their album, J. Cole, For Your Eyes Only, for that creativeness. Give a lot of honorable mention to a lot of hip-hop albums that came out, The Life of Pablo, all of these albums that came out that, pushed the bar or tried to push the bar. But the number 1 album, hip-hop of the year, is A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, this brought back the old essence of hip-hop with something new. Some songs had the new sound to it, but the music it just went to show you that the music counts for something. They had the number 1 album on Billboard because they're A Tribe Called Quest. Phife gave out his last lyrical performance. Busta was at his best. Q-Tip was at his best. Like, everybody was at their best on this album. All the way through. That even the new age people were able to relate to the album and say, okay, this is dope. I'm a big fan of Childish Gambino, but his last album, I really couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into the last album he put out. I understand where it was coming from and the angle. It was more music than anything. Music. And I'm like, I'm just not really feeling this. But I understand where he's going with it. Now, there's a lot of new MCs that came out with albums that were different, creative, underground, but most of them were EPs. But Tribe, from production all the way down, hands down, is the best album I've heard this year. Replay value, everything. So, that's my top 5. Y'all tell me what was y'all top 5. Somebody actually had the Locks album in there, top 5, and I don't. But y'all go ahead and tell me what you got. And I'm out.